Good morning and welcome back to the Balkans, more specifically Bosnia and Herzegovina. And after spending 3 months in Southeast Asia, it was about time we came back to Europe and enjoyed the European summertime. We'll be here for around the next couple of weeks, and Bosnia is probably a country you don't know too much about. If you do, you've probably heard of the fall of Yugoslavia and subsequently the war that took place in the 1990s. But a lot has changed since then, and this is a stunning capital city with green, lush mountains, rivers, and a quaint little old town. Back in the Balkans.
The best.
That's pathetic.
Welcome to Bashkorja, aka the Old Town. This is actually where we're staying, right in the heart, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's essentially a historic old bazaar that's full of handcrafts, Bosnian cafes, traditional restaurants, and I'm excited to explore.
You really do notice the mix of cultures here in the city, but specifically in the Old Town you really are going to get that Ottoman feel. You've got the old Ottoman mosques, you've got the Bosnian, Turkish coffee, but the best way to start our day is some burek. It's needed. It's been 3 blooming years.
Hello. Can I please have 1 potato?
Okay.
And 1 cheese. Small portion.
Voila.
Small, yeah.
Okay.
Voila, thank you.
Thank you.
Voila, thank you.
And this is why we came back to the Balkans, the mighty burek. We have 1 with cheese, 1 with potato, and they've put something on top of it, which I'm not sure what it is. We've actually come into Sach. Now the name Sach means like the metal lid, and it's a traditional way of cooking the burek because they have coal on top of the lid and the burek is on the bottom. The pie is on the bottom. So it's all very traditional and I'm very, very excited. It is possibly my favourite thing ever. Look at that.
This place is busy. This is
so
famous,
busy.
full of locals.
So busy. And is it worth the hype? The pastry is very dense, crispy on the outside, and I think that might be yogurt on the top. It takes away the heaviness.
I have never seen this anywhere else in the rest of the Balkans. Normally you will go to a bakery to get your burek, but here they have these restaurants just only for burek, so you know, oh look at that, it's going to be good.
Just dedicated.
They just chucked the yogurt on, we didn't ask for it, but it works. Crispy Bosnian goodness. That was so good, so good, and it was only 5 Bosnian marks, which is about £2.50 for 2 burek. So 1 English pound is about 2 Bosnian marks. Maybe you get a little bit more depending where you go, but we have now made it to the very well named, I don't want to go near them, I don't like them, I hate pigeons. Welcome to Pigeon Square.
Behind me you will see cevapi, which is actually the public fountain. Now legend has it that you're supposed to drink the water from the fountain so that you keep coming back to Sarajevo. I don't know what the reference is to the pigeons though, I don't know how they got here, but the fountain was built back in the Ottoman Empire and it was built between the mosque and the main part of the city for the travellers as they were coming through. But you can buy pigeon food here. I don't fancy...
No way.
Yeah.
No way, I am not having... Pigeons are vermin. Have you seen pigeons in London?
So at home the pigeons are proper grim. These are quite cute, but I still don't fancy having them sat on my hand like all these people do.
I don't think I could drink pigeon water. It just didn't appeal to me, but we are now leaving the Old Town, the Ottoman part of town, and we are heading into the European part of town, the Austro-Hungarian, and they do have a sign, the Sarajevo meeting points of cultures. East meets west. And you can really see it, look. It looks like you're in two completely different countries.
This side, they're both equally as beautiful, but you can really see the change in architecture. It's almost immediate.
It does feel like you've been transported to a completely different city. The pedestrian street is extremely European, but right outside of the main cathedral here is a Sarajevo rose. You'll find them dotted all across the city, and they're to remember those that lost their life during the war. And in this exact location, this is the spot that a mortar hit, and for every Sarajevo rose all across the city, at least 3 people would have died in the mortar, the shelling in this exact spot.
Shiveli, look at this. This is a rakia, and I love this part of town actually. It kind of is so different to
Little
the old
Vienna.
town. Little Vienna, yeah, it's so beautiful as well, and it has outdoor seating areas in the bars and cafes, which you don't really find so much in the old town. They're a lot more traditional, but we have our rakia, the strong spirit. The closest thing I can give it to, it does smell a bit like petrol, doesn't it? It's very strong. I've got cherry, which they say is for ladies. It's nice. It's kind of like a sweet liqueur. I reckon yours is going to be strong.
This was the go-to drink all throughout Serbia, and we're actually trying to find a bar, like a rakia bar, where we could go and we could taste a few different ones, but we couldn't find that. So this was the next best choice, and I've gone, is it plum or pear? No, this is pear. Plum is the most common, but I have got a pear.
Does it smell like pear, or does it smell like petrol?
It smells strong. It's strong, and it's a very good digestive. We actually double parked because we had to try our first Bosnian beer, Sarajevsko, in a blooming Tuborg glass, which is not the best. Cheers. A rakia a day keeps the doctor away. I am now feeling like a real Balkan man, and that came to 25 Bosnian marks for 2 beers, 2 rakia and 1 water, so about 12 English pounds, which is still relatively cheap. We then checked out the Crimes Against Humanity and Genocide Museum. There are a few different museums across the city, and I'd highly recommend checking out one to learn more about the Bosnian War and understand the effects it had on this country. But the rakia has now made room for more food. It is such a good digestive, and it is time for some cevapi.
This is another example of how in Bosnia they have the specific restaurants. I'm not going to be able to pronounce it, but essentially it means cevapi. So this is a restaurant dedicated to cevapi, and you'll find them all around the old town. My friend is actually Bosnian, and she recommended this to us. This is Petica or Fahatovic. I think it's the family name, and the place is here. They have 2 different names. One's been here since 84, one's been here since 57. But when you open the menu, it's meat, cevapi, and more meat. Sounds good to me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Thank you. Voila.
Voila.
Look at this. The goodness. The cevapi. The national dish. And it says here, dear customers, quality assessment and evolution of energy value of our meat fingers from the Centre of Veterinary Food Control, Sarajevo, confirmed. The meat is made up of 99.04% beef and 0.96% salt. So none of that rubbish that we have in our meat back home. I'm just going to tear a little bit. Oh, it's so good. Grab one of my little sausage fingers.
You meat fingers, I hate that.
Chuck in the kaymak, which is basically like a thick cream that is just unbelievable, and devour.
Out of 10.
11. The age-old question, burek or cevapi? I think cevapi, especially in Bosnia. I think I'm going to say it. It's the best in the Balkans. Six Bosnian mark, £3 English, well less than £3 English for your dinner. And you know what? I think the Bosnians do the cevapi best, but we are now fueled and we are hiking up the green, luscious mountains that surround Sarajevo to head. You might be able to see it behind me, to the yellow fortress to catch sunset. We've grabbed a beer from the supermarket, and these views are getting better and better.
We've made it. We've got our beers, and you know what? It doesn't look yellow at all.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What a view. What an amazing sunset. Unfortunately, it is very, very busy. We can't actually get a spot right now to look out at Sarajevo below, but we came prepared. And what was the Yellow Fortress, built back between 1727 and 1739, is now the romantic spot, the sunset spot of the city. What we're hoping is as the sun drops behind the mountains in the distance, we can get a spot at the front. We finally got a spot.
Cheers to that.
Was the perfect way to end your day in Sarajevo. Grab a cold beer, go up to the fortress and watch sunset, or whichever beverage you would prefer. But it is bright and early in the old town of Sarajevo, and this is how you start, with a Bosnian coffee, similar to a Turkish coffee, but I think the way that you consume this is you get a little bit of sugar like this, you dip it in like this, you take a bite like this, oh that is good, and you take a sip like that. And this is actually where we are staying, at Moon Sweets and the Moon Cafe that they have below, and I'm hungry and I'm ready for a Balkan breakfast. Cheers.
Cheers. Amazing.
Thank you.
So much.
Hvala.
Oh, wow. Lovely, thank you. Good morning. I need a sip of my coffee to wake me up. And it's really nice. It's not as strong as like a Turkish coffee. It's a little bit like watery. It's not as thick, but it's nice. I like it. And we have our Bosnian Balkan breakfast. The things we love the most. We have burek, the cheese pie. We have cheese. Ivar, which is like a red pepper sauce. We loved this when we came to the Balkans 4 years ago. Right, let's try it. What am I doing? What do you reckon? Burek in the Ivar?
Oh, the best.
The best things ever. We even have smoked meats. You know, this is typical.
Fresh.
Oh, it's so good. I absolutely love a Bosnian or a Balkan breakfast. There's a little bit of everything, and I'm well and truly stuffed now. But this is our beautiful little apartment, our suite. It's in the attic, so we do have great views of the old town. We're right in the heart of it as well. So
I don't think you can get any more central than this.
Everything is walking distance, and we have our bed, we have a spare bed, loads of storage space, and actually I just want to show you, check our bath out.
That's not a bath, that's a hot bath.
We're actually going to get out and explore more of the city because the weather looks so beautiful.
And we are fueled for the day, and as you can see, I have changed top. We were just walking through the old town and we found a guy selling Bosnian football shirts. I am now becoming a fully fledged Balkan man. 40 Bosnian mark for, to be honest with you, one of the nicest looking football shirts you'll find.
Does it fit?
Like a glove.
Or like a t-shirt?
So we love to, thank you, we love to collect football shirts. Well, I like to collect football shirts from every country we travel to, and to be honest, it's very nice but very expensive. This is about 20 euros, 40 Bosnian mark for a fake football shirt. I mean, Bosnia in parts is very cheap, but in others it is not as cheap as you think. But we are currently heading out of the old town and towards the Latin Bridge to explore a different part of Sarajevo.
And we have made it to the Latin Bridge, an old Ottoman bridge that has been famous throughout history, but specifically in more recent years. Austrian Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife were assassinated. They were shot here back in, I think, 1914, and that kick-started World War I. It's quite insane.
You'd never have thought that. You didn't think that World War I essentially started here
in Sarajevo. And we're standing on it. It's insane.
If I'm honest, the bridge actually looks better from afar than when you're actually on it, because they've built this sort of protective barrier on top of the Ottoman style bridge. But like I've been saying the whole time, Sarajevo, what a stunning city. You've got the river flowing through, lush green mountains above, and that is actually where we're heading now, because did you know that in 1984 Sarajevo hosted part of the Winter Olympics, and you can actually get a cable car up to where they have the abandoned bobsleigh track. Who would have thought it? Technical difficulties, come back later, or you can walk up. 2-hour walk up, 2-hour walk down. I'm actually kind of pleased because it was 30 Bosnian mark each for the return, so 15 English pounds, which I think is pretty expensive. And right next to the cable car station is the Sarajevo Brewery, so unfortunately we're gonna have to go and try some beer. What a shame.
Now, we might not have made it up to the top to see the cable car and the old bobsleigh, but we can put in 5 Bosnian mark and choose a
souvenir.
Which one do you want? They've got all different ones.
This one.
Which one?
This one.
No, do you not like the cable car?
No, that is the official mascot.
Yeah, oh, but he's in there as well.
Either one, yeah, get the cable car.
Okay, fine, I'm going to get this one. Right, so 5 Bosnian
This feels very
marks.
Japanese, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, vending machine. Right, here we go. That's the coolest thing ever. That is really cool. And there you have it. Can you see the little mascot on the cable car with the Olympic rings? I love that.
Now this is more like it. Welcome to the Sarajevo Brewery, dating back to 1864, and it is one of the only, if not the only, brewery in the world to operate under 2 empires, the Ottoman and the Austro-Hungarian. It is also the only brewery in all of Europe to operate under the Ottoman Empire. And the architecture of this building is just stunning, and hopefully we found the museum, we can drink some beer.
We'll keep our fingers crossed. I might ask very nicely.
So it turns out that the museum is not linked to the bar. The bar is further down, where you can try all of the different types of Sarajevo beer. I've learned a little bit of the history online, so who needs the museum? Get me an ice cold Sarajevo. Shivali.
Shiveli, that was so Balkan. Very dark, very dingy, very smoky, but so cool. I must admit, I did get confused because this comes up as a brewery, and obviously so does Sarajevo Museum, but this is actually the bar. So you can go and grab one of 4 different types of Sarajevo drafts, one being light, which is this one. You can also have dark, you can have unfiltered, and you can have cut. I don't know what the difference is between them two. I'm sure we'll try it. I've tried this already, but...
What's that, light?
This is light, lovely.
This is unfiltered. Look,
Does it look the same?
That's it, it's official. I have completed Bosnia. I am a real Bosnian man with my football shirt, Vedin Dzeko on the back. and a nice ice cold draft Sarajevo. Who wanted to go in and walk around a blooming museum? Not me. The darkest, dingiest brewery you are ever going to find, but it is so fitting for the Balkans and for Bosnia. And it is the national beer, so you've got to go and try it. We did end up going inside because it's so hot. It's like 32 degrees today, and I tried the dark beer. I think the dark beer might actually be our favourite, but I think the plan now is to cross back over the river, head back into the old town and try some food. I think we've actually found one of the only actual Bosnian restaurants, so a restaurant that serves alcohol, serves everything, because a lot of them are specific, whether you've got the one that's just for cevapi or just for burek. I want to experience a real Bosnian restaurant. Thank you, Hvala.
It smells good.
Živeli.
Živeli. This is kind of crazy. The restaurant we found, the traditional restaurant, which is beautiful, also serves as a rakia bar, and it's been here since 1919,
it's crazy,
I believe.
because yesterday I was saying that we couldn't find a rakia bar,
and now we found it.
But the restaurant actually doubles as a rakia bar.
I do quite like how they do that. So they have their specific places. So you know, you only go to cevapi or you go for burek, but here you can sort of get a mixture and actually have a sit-down meal with alcohol, because many of those places you can't actually get alcohol with your food. So here's really nice, and I have a lemon. She said it was nice, so we hope. Yeah, easy, quite sweet, obviously still really strong. It's definitely a sipping job.
This looks unreal.
I love the fact that you can pretty much go to any restaurant, get a dish, and it comes out looking amazing. I went for the Bosnian mixed plate, which actually is exactly what it says on the tin. We have stuffed peppers with meat, stuffed courgette with meat, stuffed tomato with meat, and a sarma, which in other countries could be a dolma, sarmale. It's essentially just like, is it like vine leaves or cabbage leaves mixed
Depends
with
where you are.
stuffed
Always
with
changes.
meat? So I've got it here with a bit of kaymak, the lovely cream cheese. It's so good. Like, I don't know what else to say to you. If you want meat, you want hearty home-cooked food, this is where you gotta go.
If you are coming to Sarajevo, Restaurant Visegrad, I feel like this is probably the best place we've found if you want an all-round experience. You can have your rakia, you can have a beer, and you can try numerous different, not just Bosnian, but Balkan dishes. And I'm a little bit boring. I've gone for the cevapi again with, oh, look at that, with kaymak.
Can't really go wrong.
You can't beat it. You honestly cannot beat this food.
So good, right?
So good, so fresh. And I think this restaurant in particular has been in the family since 1919. Restaurant Visegrad. I would highly recommend it if you are coming to Sarajevo. Not only was the food great and very reasonably priced. It came to about 40 Bosnian mark, which is around 17, 18 English pounds. But the family that have run it since 1919 were the best. They just kept bringing out rakia after rakia after rakia. So in the end I was like, no. I have got to leave. But that brings our first 48 hours in Bosnia to an end. And what a quaint, picture perfect city this is. I think it only has a population of around 500,000, so it is very relaxed for a capital city. And now with the direct flights with Wizz Air and Ryanair from London, make it so accessible. Definitely add it to your European bucket list. But we do have a few more days in the city to eat more of the food, do a few more day trips and explore more of this beautiful city. So we'll see you in the next one from Sarajevo, Bosnia.